Okay, so I'm back. I do a part two because I think I was pretty lengthy. But I just wanted to just finish this off and get into the whole counterfeits because Spirit revealed to me that a lot of people are going to really see the truth about certain relationships in their life, specifically romantic ones, and that what they thought to be divine is not. It's a counterfeit. It is a distraction to you. The video that I was speaking of in part two or part one, the video that I was guided to watch on YouTube tonight, titled, what was it at? Said something about distractions because I was speaking on an Instagram post that I had made, I think it was Sunday night, Monday morning, like early Monday morning. And it's called How to Recognizing Counterfeit Relationships. How to recognize a counterfeit. Is it destiny or is it a distraction? So I used that word distraction in that post that I made on Instagram because it was laid on my heart in the middle of the night. I'm like, I don't want to say this. I know it's going to probably piss some people off. But I just don't understand how, something that's solid and something that's real, why would it piss you off? Unless you know deep down inside that it's not something that's meant for you and you refuse to let it go, which is blocking your blessing to something that is real for you. The woman, she had made a statement and I was like, that's actually perfect. She said, character should hold precedence over chemistry. So a person's character should be the number one thing. You should be seeking a person's heart. Like, who are they at their heart? What is their character? Before you get into all the fluffy feelings that this person makes you feel and the heart flutters and, oh, I seen the sign and synchronicities, but he's an asshole or she's an asshole or they're not paying you any attention. They're obviously not interested, or they are in a relationship with somebody else. Living up on somebody else or living with someone else, playing with you, love bombing you, in and out of your life. They can't make up their mind about you. Just stringing you along. And she was, I wrote down some of the things she said. And like I said in the first video, I also added what I also was gathering. And, a distraction connection, she was saying that with these connections, they allow you to vent. They allow you to be vulnerable to some extent. They allow you to vent and talk about your past and talk about your hurts and your pains and, what bothered you. But they'll feed into it. They'll continue to harp on the past. They will not talk about the future. And so it creates between two broken people, it creates a trauma bond. So you start to feel, we're connecting because we're talking about our trauma. But there's no talk about resolution and moving forward and what you can do to empower yourself or what you can do to heal. It's always about sitting in that energy of depression or what happened in the past, that victim mentality. It's like to keep you stuck in that. And the divine, as I read in the scripture that I read in the first video, the divine wants us to be new in spirit and doesn't want us to dwell on the past. Once we release the past, once we've, let's say, repented, as they say, once you've denounced your past, you made peace with it, you forgave yourself, you forgave others, you should let it go. Speak on it in a way that's going to empower you, but not to sit in that victim mentality. So, these divine distractions, they also play on your emotions. They play on your victim mentality. And they might use it as ammo to manipulate you, to control you, to feed off of your energy. Their object is to keep you in a loop, to keep you confused, to keep you distracted by them. If you're thinking about this connection 24/7, that's not healthy. If you eat, wake, sleep this person, that is not healthy. You can't think of nothing else. That is your only motivation, is to be in a relationship with somebody or be in a relationship with a specific person. That is your only motivation. That's the only reason why you eat, wake, sleep, go to whatever. That's not healthy. That's not a divine connection. Divine connections are between two people that are in their divinity, that are whole within themselves, that complement each other, not feed off of each other. The neediness of a person. I need you. I can't live without you. I can't do this without. That's not healthy. That's not even a healthy in a friendship. Um, their job is to keep you distracted, to keep you stuck, to keep also you become content with mediocrity. You become content with dysfunctionality. You become content with trauma. You become content with disrespect. You become content with manipulation, and you become content with things that you know you would never settle for. Ask yourself this question, and maybe you're free from some type of trauma bond or past relationship that was a counterfeit, because it's easy to think, oh, this person, don't let this person look good, don't let this person smell good, dress good, maybe have something going for themselves, because it's easy to fall into that and be like, okay, well, they have this and that, and they look like this, and they make me feel. That's a lot of what people are stuck on. This person makes you feel something that you feel like you lack within yourself, but they're not giving you anything of value. They're not giving you anything stable. And a lot of people don't know what stability is in love and what a healthy relationship is, because you may have not seen it growing up. You may have felt that you are not worthy of it, that is unrealistic. Some people, it might be boring to have that. Like, oh, no ups and downs, no roller coaster ride, no challenges. That's boring. I don't want that. That's it's doing too much. I want something that makes me feel like I need the adrenaline. I need that dopamine. I need that. Love becomes a drug. And some people think that a relationship that doesn't have all of that is not normal. Peace feels weird. And I've been in a situation before where I was like, I don't know if I like him because it's boring. Like, it's too settled. Like, I've been through that where it just was like, this is weird. There's no drama. And I think I was even subconsciously creating drama just so I could feel like it was something happening, like it was some type of spark. And that's so wrong. Like, that's so off. Like it's not normal. It's completely dysfunctional. So people that are in these counterfeit situations, they're content with mediocrity. And these connections make you feel powerless. They make you feel like you don't have a handle on things. And you feel good as long as the connection, you have a firm grip on it, where you want it, whether the person likes it or not, or whether it goes against divine order for you. As long as you feel like you're in control, you feel like it's okay, like everything is going right, or this person, all they need to do is what I need them to do, and when they do it, you feel like, okay, I got them where I want them, or I feel like, okay, this is at a good space. When in actuality, you're just covering shit up. You're covering the shit up with a rug. Not actually cleaning things up, but covering up with a rug, basically. Another thing that I've noticed why some people are not comfortable with stable relationships, harmonious unions, truly, connections that have peace, that don't have drama, where there's no confusion, where there's no back and forth, where there's no in and out, where there's no guessing games and mind tricks and mind games and manipulation. People like that are not comfortable and settled in a stable foundation usually and typically like the an energy of a non-committed person or an unemotionally available person, are attracted to people that are unemotionally available, is because they themselves are emotionally unavailable. They're not in a place where they truly feel safe to open themselves up wholeheartedly and vulnerably because of their abandonment issues and because of self-rejection or experiencing rejection as a child or at a traumatic experience. So naturally, you're going to be drawn to someone that is not emotionally available to you, or someone that is not, who too may share the same wounds of self-rejection and abandonment, where they don't want to get too close or open their heart up truly to someone. Because to truly be vulnerable with someone, you have to sacrifice your need to control how things go. And that in itself is not an easy human trait. we have to completely submit our vulnerability in order to truly trust a person. And a lot of people do have trust issues. They don't really trust people as far as they can throw them, as long as they're able to see them as close as they want to see them and make sure that they're in a space where they feel like, okay, I have a handle on how much I let you in or how much I trust you. And that's a big thing with being in a divine connection, is you have to trust the person that you're with wholeheartedly, with even down to leading you. Especially if you're a woman and you're with a man, men are natural leaders. They are natural providers. So naturally, you're going to want someone that has the ability to lead you, and you want someone that's going to lead you in the right direction in life, that's going to make sound decisions for you, especially if kids are involved. If you don't trust a person, you can't fully let your guard down. And I know what that's like, because a lot of women, including myself, have issues with control. I don't feel safe trusting people to lead me and to guide me. And when I came into a place of letting go of my own control issues, that I submitted to my creator and said to myself that I'm going to allow my creator to completely guide me, because I know that me, and just in my human ability, I cannot lead and guide myself. I can't foresee my end, my beginning and my ends. I can't. I don't have the ability to do that. And that's why I have a creator. And so with that, with being with a relationship, you have to trust that the person that you're with is trustworthy, that they're solid. Like, I can trust this person with my bank account. I can trust this person around my children. I can trust this person around my girlfriends, and they're not going to get in their ego and try to sleep with her or her sleep with I got to really trust this person. I have to trust them with my life. I have to trust them that they'll be able to protect me and provide for me. That they're going to have my back when I'm not around, that they're going to make sound decisions when they're far away from me. You know what I mean? And a lot of us don't trust that because we've been hurt before. And that's why healing is so important, because when you get a good man or a good woman, you can't take that wounded stuff with you. Because if you haven't healed your trust issues, you're not going to be able to fully allow a man or woman in that does have the best intentions for you, because you're not going to trust their motives with you. So in order to be able to be in a healthy relationship, you have to have healthy discernment and be healed and whole within yourself, because the person is not sent to you to complete you, because you should be complete within yourself and who you are and content with who you are in your eyes of your creator. But this person is to complement you. They bring out and highlight the best in you, and vice versa. You are to build each other up. And that's another thing about counterfeits, is they're jealous. Counterfeits are jealous. They're controlling. They don't want you to surpass the level that you're on. They don't want you to be better. They don't want you to live a healthy life. They want you to be on the level where they can control you, where they can dictate who you are and what you are. And even down to pretending that they have your best interest by being jealous and being possessive. That's a false trait of masculinity or femininity even. Because when you're two pillars and you're strong and you know who you are and what your purpose is, you build each other up and you support each other in that. You have a vision for yourself. Your counterpart should have vision. They should have ambition. They should have motivations. They should be someone that's committed to something in life. How can they be committed to a partnership if they're not even able to commit to their career or commit to a spiritual connection with something? How can they do that? And a man or woman that doesn't have a connection to source is a wild person. You have to have some type of connection with spirit. And what spirit are you connected to? Because there's people that are spiritual that are connected to some dark shit and some evil things. So you have to make sure who is leading you. Who are you sleeping with? Who are you having children with? Because it's deep. And I don't say this to discourage people. I'm saying this to enlighten and to encourage people to find and align themselves. Not even to find and seek out actively, but to allow spirit to align you with who's meant for you at the divine right time that you're supposed to. We have an issue with that. Like, for some reason, people hate to hear patience and waiting, because they want to control everything. They want to control how life goes, and we don't have control all of the time. Like, we seldom do we have control. We are physical vessels that are spiritual beings. Everyone has a maker and a creator that brought them here and that they will meet when they leave here. So there's something bigger than you that has your best intentions. And I say this all the time. This is not to discourage you. You gotta align yourself with someone that is commitment oriented, someone that is consistent and dedicated to something in life. A lot of people are pining after fickle-hearted people, men and women, unreliable people that can't even stick to paying their rent on time. Or sometimes we can't help that because life circumstances happen, but a person that prioritizes money, clothes, and cars and women over their well-being, their health, their emotional health, their mental wealth, being faithful, taking care of their kids. You got to pay attention to a person's character over how you feel about them and what they make you feel inside. You got to think beyond that. You got to feel beyond that. You got to be more discerning than that. And someone that treats you like you're disposable, that plays mind games with you, people that lead you on, someone that is not gentle with you, a person that is not speaking respectfully about you and to you, that is not gentle with their words. That is not a divine masculine, divine feminine. That's not divinity. That's like bullshit. You want someone that can take accountability for their actions in life, their behaviors, their decisions. Because again, like, who are you at the end of the day? And if you're a man, the woman has to be in a place of humbleness to even be led by her mate. And she has to trust you. So you have to be in integrity and accountability and divinely led and ordained to lead her and to protect her. You can't go in with your ego. You can't go in saying, oh, because I'm the man of the house, I get to abuse you, I get to talk down to you, I get to control you and to manipulate you. That's not how love works, and that's what we've been taught. Both of you, are you guys motivated about your past? Are you guys focused on a vision and ambition for yourself, or are you just focused on each other and when we're going to get together? That's counterproductive. Like, it's not helpful. You need someone that compliments you in your essence of who you are, not your ego. Someone that's not feeding into your ego and your playboy and your playgirl attitudes or your childish behavior. You want someone that's going to straighten you and correct you. And in order for you guys to hear each other out, your hearts have to be of humbleness. You guys have to be of a teachable spirit, a humble spirit, a loving spirit, an attentive spirit, and a gentle spirit to even be in a healthy relationship. There's no other way around it. And that's why we get stressed all the time, that we need to heal. We got to connect with ourselves. We need to love ourselves. That's why it's so important. They didn't teach us that in school. They didn't teach us self-love. And some kids, fortunately, they did have parents that taught them to love themselves and saw what healthy relationships were. And this is not to say that you are to be this false perfected person, because mistakes, as they call it, but I call them lessons and experiences, are to be a testimony and help somebody else. Like, sometimes you got to stumble and fall in order to pick yourself back up and know how to do that and show somebody else how to do that. So it's not about being perfect, but this person has their priorities straight. They're not a fuck boy, they're not a fuck girl. They're not going to play games. A person that's serious about somebody, and this is what I've learned, they know that they want to be with you and they will not play no games with you. They're not trying to lose you. They're going to step up to the plate. They're going to straighten themselves out. And if they feel like, okay, well, I need to get myself together, they're going to do that. That's what a real man and a real woman is. That's what divine feminine, divine masculine is. You tap into your divinity. There's no excuse. I'm not making excuses for nobody. We're all wounded. We've all been hurt before. We've all had traumatic experiences. We've all been hurt in different ways and, maybe cheated on, lied to, abused. But we have the free will, whether or not we pick ourselves up. And forgiveness is key. Compassion is key. your person and your heart has to be focused in alignment with divine, with that divine energy. You have to have the love in the heart of God or source, whatever you want to call it. Your heart has to be focused and set on the divine. In order for someone to fully love you and to authentically love you, you got to think about it. They have to be of a humble and gentle spirit in order to love. You can't love somebody with jealousy and insecurity, possessiveness, control. You can't love a person, and you can't be loved by a person that's in that. A person has to be humble in the presence of divine. They have to carry that divine spirit within them. How can somebody love you with a wounded energy, refuses to heal, or is someone that's not humble? They're a wild man or woman where they do everything loosely and crazy that serves them, that serves and feeds their ego, what they think is right, and they're not in alignment. They're not under divine will. You're going to be led by a crazy person. You will lose yourself every time, and I can attest to that. You have to conquer the spirit of loneliness and impatience, because loneliness and impatience is an easy gateway to attract distractions and counterfeits in. You have to heal that. And just to take your time and wait and allow, and to be full within yourself. Be full of divine. Be full of love within yourself, and be open and be led by spirit to bring you the right person. And some people, they don't know how to do that. They don't want to do that. They want what they want now. And that's when a person is in a rush and in a hurry, they're not content with themselves. They're not content with where they are. They need something to distract them. They need something to fill them up. When you're content with yourself, you're present. You're at peace. You're okay with where you are. You trust. You're allowing. You're flowing. There's a difference. And I'm learning that as well. I love each and every one of you in a spiritual way, in a way that I want everyone to experience healthy love, first with God. I want y'all to feel that love of God. And it took me some time to fully accept God because of what I was taught as a child, and because of all the things that I went through. I had a disdain for spirit for a while. I had bitterness towards God and unforgiveness in my heart towards people, and upset with myself. But when I surrendered and I really said to myself, I really want to be completely and wholeheartedly led by you, because you know what's best for me, I've never felt much lighter. I haven't felt this light in a while. And that's why I think it triggers me so much when I see people settling for things that don't serve them and people that don't serve them. And it's a block to keep you from where you're going. You're meant for something greater. If you say that you want to be in a divine union and all this twin flame stuff, what does the twin flame dynamic say? You guys have a purpose. Individually, you have a purpose. And together, as complementary beings, even more so can you guys benefit each other and help each other advance in your purpose, because you guys both know where you are and who you are within spirit. When you're a lost spirit and you don't have a connection to source, you're empty. You're seeking for things outside of yourself, and you're never going to find peace. You can't play God. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what these fake conscious people told you that we're God. Not in that sense, honey. Not like that. When you don't have a solid foundation to your creator and to source, to all that is, you're lost. You're led by your ego. You're driven by your flesh. You don't know how to govern your flesh. And being in a relationship with someone like that is even worse. If you have kids, think about them. Would this person really be a good fit as a father or mother figure to this person? Do they have the capacity to be a good father, a good parent? Have they even shown you that they are accountable? Do they even show you that they are committable to anything or to anyone? other than themselves or what they want? Have you shown that for yourself? Because you can't be selfish. There's a lot of sacrifice that comes with being in a union with someone. People that will tell you when you get into a relationship or a marriage, which is something a little more lifelong than just being in a relationship, you give up your personal freedom in a sense. Like, you guys become one unit, and it's not all light and fluffy all of the time. You really have to be humble. You really have to be compassionate towards each other. You have to be selfless, because your needs are not only your own. Your time is not only your own now. And that goes for children as well. It's like the same thing. It's a deep commitment. And with the right person, it can be something very beautiful. It can be very inspiring. It can be very motivating, uplifting, supportive. But with the wrong person, it can feel like a death sentence, because it's like, what am I doing? And then you find yourself trying to make it work, or you're trying to leave. Because, like, I'm stuck now. See, I really got to think about it. Like, he might be looking good right now. She might be looking good. They might make you feel good. And part of it, a lot of it is because you created a cord there. You created emotional ties, a spiritual tie, a spiritual cord to something, because you've invested and you fed the energy spiritually and etherically, that it's hard for you to detach from that. And you created a dream world out of that. So I say this not to discourage people, but you gotta be real. And the last message that I gave my now close sister that I used to read for a couple of years ago, I left her with a message, and I told her that the man that she was thinking was her twin flame, and she wants to come on my channel one day to share her story, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to set that up one day, hopefully soon, because it might be the season to do that, actually. But I told her to spend time with yourself, because you're not going to be single for long, and the man that she was desiring to be her one and thought was her twin flame was in fact not her one. And I told her to take time for herself and really enjoy her time, because she's not going to be single for long. Her one that's really for her is coming in, and she, within not even a year, she met her husband. And when we talk now, she's like, girl, I don't know what I was thinking. Because that guy that she was wanting, she saw his flaws. She saw his character. He wasn't a good person. He wasn't treating her with integrity or respect. He wasn't, courting her. He wasn't pursuing her. So she had to learn that lesson. And she said, I'm so grateful that I met my husband, because he's nothing like that. And when I remind myself of her story, and I say to myself, I know the power of waiting. I know the power of trusting spirit and allowing things to unfold and honoring myself. Her story gives me hope. Her story gives me hope. And she will also tell you that just because you get into a union with your divine spouse or whatever, doesn't mean that all of the issues go away. She said she still was working on herself. She still had trust issues that she needed to work on in her relationship. But he was so patient with her and loving and helping her through that. That's what a real union is. That's what a true loving union is. You build each other up and you lift each other up, and you're there for each other. There's times where they might not have it all together, but they love each other and they're humble with each other. I want to share her story. I think it's time, and I'm going to set it up with her, and I'm going to ask her if she's ready. She says she'll do it when I'm ready, but I feel like it's time. I really do. And there's so many success stories that I've come across with women that have believed that spirit would deliver for them, and they followed divine instructions, that met someone almost, some of them within like 2 months, some of them within weeks. I think one of the ladies said she met her husband within 4 weeks of letting go and just trusting, and how it all came together. They both were like, I want to be with you. I want to be with you too. I don't know. I just feel that this is what we should do. it doesn't take anybody time to realize that they want to be with someone, and it shouldn't be a one-sided thing. Two people that truly want to be together and that are called to be together, they're going to make it happen. And of course, in its divine time. But someone that's stringing you along and keeping you waiting, or something that's just not manifesting, it's not delivering, you got to ask Spirit, is this something that you truly have for me? Or is this something that I'm pushing to happen? Or this is something that in my personal desires I want to happen? Because Spirit is not going to give you something that you're not going to be happy with. It's a delusion that keeps you stuck, that there's nothing better, or that your creator doesn't know what you want and what you need at the end of the day. It's that fear or that hesitance, that is not, it's not sound. It's not from God. You know what I mean? It's not from source. Like, Spirit does not cause confusion, and definitely does not want us to be in a place of struggle. That's not what we're here for, and that's not what Spirit delivers or brings. Spirit instills peace and love and clarity. And if you feel like you don't have that, ask Spirit to give that to you. But a lot of times before something great comes in, you have to sacrifice something, and it's not easy to let go of it. Even if it be that it comes back, but you got to let go. Anything that you're holding on to, you're not allowing it to fly. When we hold on to things, it can't progress, it can't grow, it can't move, it can't fly, and you keep yourself in a standstill as well. Again, a person that is full within themselves, they are at peace with where they are present. They're not seeking outside to find. When you're in a rush, you're trying to get somewhere where you feel like you need to be, you're not present. You don't have to force love. You don't have to orchestrate love. It happens in a divine orchestrated way, and you just align with it, and vice versa. Playing games and all of that, we're doing away with that. That's an old way of things, and it's a toxic way of doing things. Love is not a game. It's not meant to be painful. It's not meant to cause confusion. It's not love. So the good news is, those that let go and allow and trust and surrender, and that fill themselves up with the love of their creator and loving themselves wholeheartedly, they will align with what is good for them. They will align with the good things. That is the promise. Even if it requires some time and patience. But I just wanted to leave that with you guys. I wanted to leave that with a lot of people, and it might trigger a lot. It might make people upset. And that's not the goal, is to hurt anybody. The goal is to instill hope for your future and to give you insight into things that you need to know. Maybe it's not of your highest good, or to just let you know that God is good. The divine is good and has your best will and intentions for yourself. And sometimes we can get in the way of that because of our own flesh, and what it's governed by its own desires and what it wants. And sometimes our flesh, our ego, let's say that, because people identify more with the word ego, it more so is driven by what it feels like it needs. Like, it's driven by programming that, okay, this person, the TV says these type of women or men are attractive. A person that has this, and that, that's an attractive person, that's an ideal person. Or the womb says this person is desirable because they fill me up, they feed me compliments, they smile at me, and then they ghost me, and so it kind of feeds into the wounds. This person has sex with me, they tell me they love me, and then they leave me, so it makes me feel alive, it makes me feel desired, and then it makes me feel like there's some type of passion when they come back. They have another woman, but they come back to me, so that makes me feel like I'm more of the desirable one. I don't feel that rejection because this person is choosing me, and in essence, they're still rejecting you. I can go on and on. we have to ask ourselves why we want certain things. And is it of our divine's plan for us? Simple as that. Spirit, is this meant for me? It, as they say, obedience is better than sacrifice. Meaning, by just doing what it's best for you, by just following along and listening, you know what I mean? Like when you're in school, it's better to listen to the teacher's instructions rather than acting out an ass in class because you're just going to end up in the principal's office, right? So by being divinely obedient to what's of your highest good versus you causing yourself sorrow and pain and confusion and just further soul ties and more stuff to work on and heal, you align yourself with what's of your highest good and stay in the will of spirit, because spirit knows what's of your highest good and what's best for you. Point blank, period. Okay? Much love to you, all of you that's watching. I hope all of you took this message in love and use your discernment. Because, I mean, if you're listening to this with wounded ears, it's going to trigger all kind of things. And if you're not of a sound place, it's going to frustrate you. And I would say that take this to spirit. Always get that divine clarity from spirit first and foremost, and confirmation with anything that you're watching and hearing, whether it's the news, whether it's a movie, whether it's something on the radio, it doesn't matter, or someone telling you something. You always want to make sure that it's for you and what is it within you, but don't discard it just because it's not something that you want to hear. Because the soul knows, the heart knows when something is for you, even if it's not what you want to hear. But those that are meant to receive this message in however way they are meant to receive it, I hope that this reading, not even reading, I mean, I guess you can call it that, this message brings you clarity, brings you peace, brings you divine revelation, and that it dismantles things that have been a block to you and a stronghold to you, and that you find that inner peace to follow the path that is of your highest good. And may you align with the love of your life that is divinely meant for you, that will love you, as God loves you, that has the capacity to love you in such a way that you have never been loved. But to know that you have to know what that love is from God and within yourself first so that you can even receive it. And when I speak of God, I'm not speaking of a religious God. I'm speaking of a divine, universal, the Alpha, the Omega, the Most High God above all things, that created all things, that will be and is all that is. That God. And I thank you guys for your support. As long as I've been on the channel, I've evolved so much, and I appreciate you guys. This is not an easy path for me. It's not a cakewalk all the time, but it's beautiful at the same time because I love what I do and I honor spirit in what I do. And I thank you guys so much. And I want to give back to you guys this message because I want you to know that you're deserving of love. And spirit placed it on my heart in a very subtle way with, the post that I posted on Instagram the other night. But this was, I guess, really going into it a little further. And I hope this opens a lot of women's eyes and hearts, and men's hearts and eyes and ears to the truth for them, what's in their heart and what's for them. And like I said, that I wish and pray for everyone to find that true divine loving energy, like to really feel it. And I want you to feel it with God first, because feeling the love and God energy, I can't explain it, but it's a high that you'll never get outside of yourself. To feel that connection with source and spirit, it's a different high, it's a different feeling, it's a different type of love. And I just want you guys all to experience that, because a lot of us never felt true love from anyone before, unconditional love, even from parents, or we've never experienced that. So, this isn't to beat anybody up or to bash anyone. When I channel these messages, I just speak with a divine authority in my voice, and sometimes it could come across as I'm being harsh, but I just allow the fire in my heart to speak through me. And we're all a work in progress, but just keep progressing, keep growing, keep evolving, keep striving, And most of all, connect with Source. That don't lose that connection to Source, God. You can't find that anywhere else. So I love you guys. Much love. Take care. Be blessed. Peace.